What's up, everybody? Hello. Welcome to the Huddle. Yo, I am so excited to see you all today. Today is amazing. Today is the day that we have celebrated the fact that we have made it through. And I'm glad that you all are with me today. This is so good. I hope that you had a fantastic day. Y'all, guess what? We have something, my team and we have something that is fantastic. And we cannot wait to get you on tonight to hear this amazing announcement. Now, I will say to you that, of course, many of you know that we are directly on YouTube. So definitely remember to share this information with other people. There are some people that do not have a Facebook account, so we want to make sure that they are in the huddle as well. So please simply let them know we are on YouTube, and it will just type in the huddle with Michael. Yes, the huddle with Michael. And there we are. We are so excited. And so, want to let y'all know how was y'all day? I hope your day was great. I hope your day was great. I hope it was fantastic. I'm just so excited, y'all. This is so good for us to be here tonight. So let me check and see who is in. There go my wife, y'all. Yeah, my baby is on. What's up, sweetie? Hello. I love you so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your encouragement. You are so awesome. I'm telling you, y'all, life, as the young people say, life be lifing, but it is definitely amazing when you have someone to love and to cherish you and to go through life with you, right? So I'm asking people like, how was your day? My wife, but she said my day was busy. I'm sure it was. I am sure it was. Oh my goodness. Directly. Oh, I love you too, sweetie. Thank you so much. Listen, we are in this thing tonight. This is so good. We are talking about part three, and part three is about Minecraft. Okay, the power of Minecraft. And here we are in the month of August, the power of Minecrafting. And so, listen, I have a brother that is here that is going to, we're about to have fun. And I cannot wait to bring him on stage tonight. So, without any further delay, let's get into it. Welcome to the huddle. Yes, indeed. All right, so let me bring my brother up here, y'all, because y'all, I'm telling you, we about to have some fun. So, without any further delay, let me call my brother, Mr. Jody Donaldson. Woo-hoo.
What's going on, Michael?
What's up, Jody? How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. Excited to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh, man, we are so thrilled that you're here, man. We are so thrilled, and we're excited as well because we know that truth is getting ready to happen. We're getting ready to directly just dive into what it means when we are talking about mind crafting, the power of crafting the mind. So, Jody, real quick, man, tell us about yourself and just go with it.
All right. Well, Jody Donaldson. I was born and raised in Northern Virginia outside DC. We moved down to Raleigh, North Carolina about four and a half years ago. Love it down here. It's been great. I'm a father, a husband, a grandfather. Got 3 kids. And my youngest just graduated college, so we're excited about that. And my oldest has 3 little ones. So yeah, so we got a whole crew down here, which is nice. I've been in public service most of my career. I started out in law enforcement and worked in Northern Virginia for a long time. Went to the FBI and spent some time in that world, and then came back. left the bureau. The timing was really tough for my family at that time. So we moved back to DC, where we had support system. I had 2 young kids at the time and a senior in high school. And it was just a real difficult time to be away. And it was after 9/11. So it was after a lot of work being done in an unknown time with a lot of chaos. So came back to Northern Virginia and decided, you know what, if I wasn't going to do the FBI, I was going to start a real estate business. So I ran a real estate business for probably 14 years. Helping people buy and sell homes. And then, and then just went back into public service for a little bit. And then when COVID hit, we kind of said, everybody was home. And there was a time in our life where we could decide to move out of state. My mother-in-law and my father were kind of priorities for us being up there, but then circumstances changed a little bit. And so they were taken care of. And so we said, hey, listen, this might be the time to go. So my wife got a job down here first, and we all came down and just started down here. So yeah, it's been a nice ride. I also just recently, in the beginning of the year, decided that entrepreneurial spirit I couldn't break away from. So I'm in public service. I work for the state of North Carolina here, but my other passion is running businesses. And so I bought a franchise, Alloy Personal Training, and we just opened our first location in Cary. So yeah, man, really excited. There's a lot going on. I love it all. And I've had a big journey. My journey's been very vast.
Man, good gracious, boy. I'm telling you, Jody, you have really, really, I mean, you're so amazing in every space that you have adventured into your life. And it's clearly seen, I mean, the passion that you have about caring for people in the public sector, being able to really, look at your family and say, okay, when COVID came, we had to pivot. We had to, change directions. And so many people, when they are dealing with a situation that they were not expecting, sometimes they get stuck, and you have to make those hard choices in order to keep going. So I'm wow, man, you brought a franchise. Oh my goodness. Okay, we're gonna have to plug this in right here. So the franchise, man, give us a little spiel about that. What you doing?
Yeah, it's I tell you, it's awesome. I love it. I love every minute of it. It's a passion project, right? So not only just wanting to go into business for myself and really build something, I did my due diligence and vetted a ton of businesses. There's a lot of profitable franchises out there. Not everything's restaurant. There's a lot of home service businesses that are just really awesome that have repeat customers and things like that. And I said, well, if I not only just wanted to invest in something, but I wanted to do something that meant something to me. I love working out. It's my Prozac. It's my mental health. I love that for me. I know it's not for everybody, but if I had to step into the business, what could I step into and be passionate about? And it was fitness. And so I kept coming back, looked at a bunch of different models, and went down to Atlanta, where Alloy is headquartered, and met with the team. Really liked them, really liked what they are about. They've been around for a really long time. They only started franchising right around COVID, so they're new in the franchise world. And really, it's small group personal training, 4 to 6 people in a session. The beauty of it is that if anybody's done personal training is super expensive. I mean, you go to the Lifetimes of the world and everything on top of your membership, you're paying $120, $140 an hour. And I mean, I can't afford that. I know a lot of people can't afford that. So by being in a small group of 4 to 6, you still get that individualized attention, but it cuts the cost to like a third. So it just makes it really affordable. And the model was clean. And I wanted to build a community. I used to be part of a fitness community in Northern Virginia for a really long time. And I just love that camaraderie that we all, like, our kids grew up together. We all worked out together. We did runs together, just a lot of fun things. I hadn't found that down here, and I had tried a lot of concepts. And so it just kept coming back to, if it's not there, let's go ahead and bring it here. And so that's what I did.
If it's not there, Let's go ahead and bring it in. See,
Yeah.
listen, y'all. Jody is powerful. Okay, that my brother Jody is powerful, and I have to say, I stumbled across. I wanted to work on my fitness. I did, and I ran across a Lord, and man, let me tell y'all. I'm in it, and pretty much just started. Like I've probably been a month now, and I have to say, it look, I'm excited, and the way is set up with the small group. Definitely encourage everyone to keep going, and we encourage each other. And my people know me. I'm going to definitely be like, yo, Lord Jesus, God, help me. They want another one, and it's so good. I mean, y'all have some great coaches there.
Yeah.
And we give them their shout outs as well. So,
Yeah.
matter of fact, speaking about shout outs, let's look and hear from our audience. We got some people in here tonight in the huddle.
Nice.
All right, my huddle fans, let's see. All right, Jody, we're going to have to say hey to people. So here we go. Here is Kenny.
Kenny, what's up, my man?
What's up, Kenny? That's from Pop, man. I'm so happy to see you. Glad that you're here. Absolutely right. Okay. Hey, what's up, Miss Williams?
How are ya? Welcome.
Going on, man. Okay, Miss Hill, you in the house?
Good evening.
Wow. Kenny talking about, hey. Man, listen,
Love it.
The Huddle fans, they are excited directly about what's happening. And so I want to just dive in to what we are getting ready to discuss today.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are in the month of August, and according to your messages to me, you all was talking about how you love the series concerning the power of mind crafting. So this is part 3. And for those of you who are new, welcome audience. We hope that you continue to come to the huddle. But this is when we talk about the power of mind crafting, it's all about how we strategically, intentionally build our mindset. And we can be so bombarded with life that we allow things to build our mindset, and things doesn't last forever. But when we take the initiative to really say, let me take the time to find out where my mind is, number one, and then purposely say, I want to not just speak well, I want to not just think well, but I also want to bring a collaboration of the wells and say, I want to think well, live well, and be well. So all of this matters when we talk about being a human being. So this is what we're on, and we want to directly talk to Jody, and y'all, Jody is so modest, but I have to say, Jody, now one thing is for sure, you are an author. And listen, everybody, y'all got to listen, his book right here, The Progress Zone, Unlocking Your Full Potential. Come on, let's give it up for him now.
Thank you. That's a nice plug.
Y'all, he's my friend. He don't know I got some great things ahead in this episode.
I'm scared now. I'm scared what you got in that bag.
Get ready, boy. Get ready. Get ready, man. It's about to get on. But listen, Jody, just real quick, probably like 30 seconds. Tell us what this book is all about.
Well, I appreciate you asking. Yeah, it was, something that my kids are going into adulthood, a lot of leadership training that I've been through over the years, looking at successful people, what they do, the habits, the mindsets, the emotional intelligence, all the things that they bring. I was like, there's several podcasts and other books that touch on those topics and are great resources. I when I see a book that's this thick, it stresses me out a little bit. I'm like, I'm never going to get through that time-wise, right? So I listen to books on tape and on Audible, and it works better. But I wanted a guide that somebody could pick up, and if they were having trouble with whether it's mindset, whether it's physical, staying in shape, whether it's mental health, whether it's emotional intelligence, financial literacy, communication strategies, what could they do and read the best practices and things to put into their life immediately and not have to go through the whole book. So it's not a storybook. It's really a guide that I feel anybody at any age, whether you're starting out in your career and you want to set the groundwork and really put a foundation that's ready to go, or if you're our age and you're having a midlife crisis and you're like, what am I doing? I'm punching the 9 to 5. I'm not happy. Things aren't going right. My relationships aren't good. My kids don't like me, whatever it is, right? What can you do to change or implement in your day-to-day to be a better version of yourself? And so that's why I came up with the progress zone. Hey, it's not about perfection. It's about progressing a little bit every single day in all areas of your life to show up to be the best you.
Ooh-wee. Man, I tell you, this was good right here. Progressing, moving forward. And this is why, I look at how you are making sure that people are not feeling like they have to be so pressed, to progress. If they would just take their time, then they will get it. And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is the book. Jody doesn't know this, but ladies and gentlemen, I just want you all to make sure that, number one, you get the book.
Thank you. You good, man. I got to sign that one for you.
Yes.
I'll sign it.
Yes. And I'm going to be honest with y'all. Like, there's some good things in here, and I'm going to just take some of what Jody has published here, and we're going to talk very briefly about it. So for right now, we are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to dive into our session of the evening. All right, stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. But here we go.
Hey, Huddle fans, got something on your mind? We want to hear from you. What topics are you craving? Email us, thehuddlewithmichael@gmail.com. Elevate your life vision. Thrive with us in the Huddle with Michael. We are live every other Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Michael Fulton's Facebook page. Email us your topics at thehuddlewithmichael@gmail.com. And yes, we'll see you in the huddle.
All right, fans, we're so excited. We're so happy that you get the opportunity to communicate with the team and be able to literally say, hey, I want to have this topic discussed. So congratulations. We do give you your shout out. All right, Mr. Jody, my brother, here we go. Well, let's talk about mind crafting and the power of mind crafting from the physical perspective. Yeah. So my question that we have is, how does mental discipline impact our physical health habits?
Yeah, I love this question, right? So mental discipline is really the foundation for consistent physical progress, right? So when we train our minds to prioritize movement or nutrition or recovery, even when we don't feel like it, which a lot of people don't, we create a level of like self-respect that compounds over time, right? So if we are showing up to our workouts, if we are making right choices for our meals, if we are getting the rest that we need to, putting down our phones and doing those things, that discipline, even when we don't feel like it, leads to the overall physical well-being of us. That's going to allow us to then be in a better headspace, a better spiritual space, a better relationship space, like whatever it is. And so it's really the foundation, right? It starts with that discipline to get to the physical health habits is how I see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that discipline is very, very important because the mind itself, can play tricks on us. At times when we are saying, okay, well, I want to get myself, much more healthier. It seems as though that we understand the concept of time. We understand that everything does not happen rapidly or microwaved. However, because we understand that concept, it's interesting that through our progress,
Nice.
through our progress, the mind tends to make us think that it's not happening fast enough. Or it makes us think that I should be at a certain place by now. Could you speak about what strategies would you suggest for us to be able to be disciplined, to not allow those types of thoughts to dominate us, even though we do have those thoughts?
Yeah, it is hard, right? We all have controlled chaos in our lives. Sometimes uncontrolled things happen, things get in the way. Our mind plays dirty tricks on us, right? And here's the deal. Motivation is going to come and go, right? You're going to be motivated if Sunday night, you're like, I'm going to hit my workout Monday morning. We're going to get going. Sunday night, you don't sleep well. You go to bed late. You alarm, you snooze 5 times. You're like, oh, and then you get up and you're like, I don't feel like going, right? You're going to do that negative self-talk, right? What happens then too is that if you have a bad Monday and then it seems to build upon itself, and then you have a chain of multiple days you haven't been able to be disciplined enough. And then what happens is then you basically write it off, be like, oh, well, I'll just start September, or I'll just start in October. Like you push it out when honestly, each day is an opportunity to reset. Just the next day, be like, all right, I'm going to get the next meal. I'm going to do this right. I'm going to go to bed early. And you reset it. You don't have to wait for the perfect time. There's never going to be the perfect time, right? It never happens. Like, oh, when I have this, or I have this job, or, the kid's older, or things like that. It doesn't work that way, man. I'm telling you. So do something now, even when you don't want to, and make those changes little by little, and it's going to build upon itself. That's that momentum you need. So that negative self-talk, you miss something, hey, show yourself some grace. I missed it. I ate, nachos, I had appetizers and dessert, man. I tore up my meal. I'm over my calorie intake. Like I didn't get my protein in today. So I think, and this is just regarding the physical side of it, right? Like think about how that affects everything else. You don't get to sleep, prioritize, you show up, you're foggy the rest of the day, right? Or you go out and have adult beverages one night, and the next morning, like things just don't work the same way, right? So I think it's just showing yourself some grace when those negative things come in. It doesn't matter. It's in the past. Tomorrow, the next opportunity, start fresh and do it again. The next meal is the next opportunity. It doesn't even have to be tomorrow.
Wow. Whoa, I'm telling you, Jody is on fire. So here's another one. And we've talked about this very, even in our first one. What does it mean to take authority over our bodies through mindset and intentional living?
Yeah. I take it as it's recognizing that we're not victims of our circumstances, right? We are the architects of our habits. Bottom line, right? If we live intentionally, it requires us to act from a place of purpose, not impulse, right? So it's just key. The mindset can't be the victim mindset. It's got to be a growth mindset. You've got to try to rewire that brain to get you in the space that you can grow. And I think that's so important. And if we're not victims of our circumstances, everybody can do something for themselves that's going to make them better, even if they're in bad circumstances, right?
Right. Absolutely. And that's why the mental perspective is so important, because we can talk about, okay, well, we got to get our physical bodies together. We understand that. But when we talk about mental perspective, there's a consequence that comes with that, right? And so I guess I'll just ask you this question. What would be some consequences of not actively shaping our mental patterns and beliefs? Like, what would be some consequences for us not actively shaping our mindset?
Well, I think that if we're not shaping it, somebody else will. So what, our world is loud, right? We got social media, we got fear-based news, toxic influences, all those things, right? So if we don't set those intentions or consciously rewire our beliefs, we're getting that unconscious influence that is going to maybe put us in the wrong space and not where we need to be. Oh, we lost you for a sec.
Okay, can you hear? Oh, this is live.
Yeah, there you go.
Y'all are laughing. My crew laughing at me.
I was going to say, cut out for a second.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
All right, perfect. Let me get my camera right. I don't know why. Okay, here we go. Okay. So definitely, I do agree with you about that, because with these consequences of us, we can passively say that we are, building our mindset. We're speaking affirmations to ourselves.
Yeah.
We are trying to continue to do the great thing, to walk in the great way. But really, realistically, if something happens, we revert back to that old "oh, it's me" mentality. Oh, nobody wants to help me, and we don't take ownership of the actions that we have done, or the decision makings that we have done over the years or over the months. Here is someone said, okay, my mic was not working.
They heard you sounding a little off there.
Right. Now look, my wife over here talking about, yes, now you loud and clear. Really? Okay.
Yes, Miss Fulton.
Okay.
It's good now.
Oh man, I'm telling you, the Huddle fans, they really, really helped me out. So here's the thing. How can intentional thinking rewire our outcomes and behaviors?
Well, I mean, I think we all learned, right, that intentional thinking, it activates those it's neuroplasticity, right, in our brain. We're able to rewire and redo neural pathways, right? So if you say, like, progress doesn't come from the perfection, it comes from persistent intentional action, and that begins with self-awareness, and it's reinforced through your habits, your environment, your accountability, what you're putting in your brain, what you're viewing, the relationships you're in, the content you're consuming, right? The thoughts you allow dictate the life you want to build.
The thoughts you allow dictates the life you want to live.
Or build, yeah.
Or build. Woo! Okay. Let me plug this in. Okay, this is from his book. Okay.
Oh.
Now I'm going to read page 13, y'all. And this is underneath the subheading, Embracing a Growth Mindset. Now, he says here, when I decided to leave my stable government job to pursue a career in real estate, I faced skepticism from colleagues and even some family members. Hold on. When you decided to leave your I look at words, right? Your stable government job, to pursue a career in real estate, you faced skepticism from colleagues and from family members. Now,
that's right.
I could go on that one. Because rightfully so. Okay, let me just be nice. Like, rightfully so. The word that saved you from me going into craziness right now to talk about the skepticism is the fact that you used the adjective stable. And so your friends, families, they looked at that stability, and you're going now into something that isn't promising or does not look like it is stable.
Yeah.
So let me read on. And so because some people today are really thinking that I need to pursue my career, but I'm at a stable state right now. But there's something inside of them that's saying you need to go for that. And so,
Yes.
the transition from my regular paycheck to a 100% commission-based income was difficult. My first few deals were small, which caused financial instability and made me question my decision. Ooh, man. Okay. Now, however, I rather than seeing these challenges as failures, I saw them as learning opportunities.
Yep.
So, in the midst of transitioning, you felt and you had a family. I mean, you still have your family. You have your family,
Yeah.
and you have your wife, your children, and you decided to step out into your career. But now, what really tests your belief system is the fact that your money is looking and is funny. So how did
That's it.
you so how did you create the space to develop intentional thinking that rewired you? I mean, I know you said here,
Yeah.
you said that, and I rather than seeing these challenges as failures, I saw them as learning opportunities. But how did you get there?
Yeah, I wish I could really just explain it, but I can tell you that when I was in those positions, in that stable government job with a pension and a paycheck every 2 weeks, right?
Mhm.
Inside, I felt like I was kind of dying inside, like of the energy and the passion that I want to bring to my life and live the best version of myself, whatever that was, right? Real
Mhm.
estate seemed to be the area that I wanted to go into. It allowed me to be creative. It allowed me to help people in a way that's different than from the law enforcement world or public safety world that I was in. But it allowed me to be a consultant and help them through one of the biggest decisions they had of their life. And it gave me the opportunities to make more money than I would have made in those jobs as well. So even though in the beginning it was hard, right? The first few deals were small. It was like, oh, this check, this is a little bit, this isn't what I thought it was going to be. The fact that I thought that these are learning is I just jumped all in. I cut the lifeboats. There was no other money coming in, right? Like my wife was working at the time, but we were a 2-income household that needed 2-income household at that time. So the life rafts were cut from the pension job and the stable paycheck. And so I did all I could to learn. And, something about me, I had this saying, I call it ABL, always be learning. That's something that's just a motto I have all the time. Like and that gets later down the road. We could talk about that later as some of these topics come up. But, I just said, I'm going to go all in. I'm going to look at the folks that are the most successful in the business. What are they doing? How are they doing it? Is it something I can do? And I just consumed it as much as I could, talk to them. I stepped out of my comfort zone and hey, would you go for a cup of coffee? I just want to pick your brain. I'll buy lunch just to gather that knowledge that could set me up to succeed. Ultimately, I had great success. Virginia Living Magazine rated us top real estate firm 5 years in a row. As a top producer, all those accolades. So that first few months and when I look back, I'm like, man, it was tough, right? I was like, there's no more money coming in. What's the next deal, right? What do I do to make that happen? And I just knew that inside that burning, like I was going to make it happen because I had to, right? So
Yeah.
I wish I could say there was this one thing that helped my rewiring. But when you face the skepticism and everything from family and friends was really out of fear-based, right? They were fearful that it wasn't going to work and I wasn't going to be able to provide for my family and do what I needed to do, right? So it was out of love. It wasn't, just not wanting to see you succeed. It was just like, what are you doing? You 30 years, you'll get a pension. You don't have to work the rest of your life. Well, it's not enough to live off of when you're, at that point. But facing that, I knew that they meant well, but I knew what was inside of me, and I couldn't just squelch it anymore. I'm like, I got to do this for me. And now is the time. My kids were little, but I'm like, I'm going to do it. So that's what I did. And honestly, that continues today. I don't know if it's something that's just in my blood or in my juice, like I just, I want to learn. I want to meet people. I want to help people. And what does that look like? I don't even know, but I just know that continuing doing what I'm doing on the paths that I'm going, it's creating opportunities to meet wonderful people like yourself that I wouldn't have met otherwise. And really just build a community of like-minded individuals that just want to be better and show up to be the best self to their friends, to their family, to their kids, parents, everybody.
Well, to me, the way that you are saying this, Jody, you're helping so many people, man. You're helping so many people right now because so many people are feeling that they need to pivot, but they are in fear because of what people would say. But that's why I said skepticism came because the people who love you want you to be successful in every area of your life. And when you make that jump to go into something that is abstract to them, but is specific to you, it does cause an awareness, like somebody's like, oh, whoa, what's happening? But at the end of the day, you said, I got to keep moving because I myself believe in it. I feel it. I sleep with it. I eat with it. It is when I take my shower, I see it all the time. And that is the indicator that I must pursue, that I shall recover everything that I need. So whatever is lost in the process, it is going to be gained 10 times more because I have solidified the fact that I'm in it to win it. My wife says here, she said, I love that acronym. I told y'all.
I love it too. It sounds silly. It probably doesn't even make sense, but it's just always be learning, man, no matter what it is.
Look,
okay. All right, Kitty. I appreciate you, bud.
Oh man, listen, y'all. We're here with my friend Jody, and we are literally getting ready to talk about the emotional perspective. So before we get to that, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to return momentarily.
Hey, Huddle fans, got something on your mind? We want to hear from you. What topics are you craving? Email us thehuddlewithmichael@gmail.com. Elevate your life vision. Thrive with us in the Huddle with Michael. We are live every other Friday at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube and Michael Fulton's Facebook page. Email us your topics at thehuddlewithmichael@gmail.com. And yes, we'll see you in the huddle.
All right, everyone. Welcome back. Jody, in the midst of you pivoting and making that move, I know your emotions were very, very, as we would say, like on a roller coaster.
Sure.
You had mixed emotions. So dealing with the emotions of building our mindset, what role, and here's a question even our audience can directly respond to as well. What role does mindset play in regulating our emotions?
Yeah, I love this. And I kind of look at it as like your mindset is the thermostat for your emotional responses, right? So you can't always control what happens. As much as control freaks we want to be, we can't control what happens, but you can control how you interpret it and respond, right? So how do you stay grounded in the purpose and not get caught up in the panic or the emotions of what's happening, right? And so regulating that mindset and building that foundation, I think, allows you to then not act right away with that first emotion. Think about that second emotion, which is really how you can move forward, right? And what that looks like. And so emotions are real, but I think the mindset, look at it as like it's the volume, right? So how intense or how emotional am I going to be over something like this? You can control it in that. And I really think that it takes work. It's not easy because things get thrown at us all the time that make us feel like we're spinning out of control or we don't have control of the situation that we want to, right? But it's how you respond and how you react, I think, is kind of where that plays in regulating that.
You know, I do agree with you because in your book, in your book, you know, we look at chapter 5 here, and on page 40, you said the components of emotional intelligence. Now, I'm just going to read just one thing. You said awareness. Awareness is the ability to recognize your own emotions, strengths, weaknesses, values, and motives. Your first sentence already threw me off. I was just like, wait a minute. I need to go back and really know. Do I recognize my strengths? Of course. Do I recognize my emotions? Of course. Do I recognize my weakness? Not all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you said recognize your values and your motives. It involves understanding how your emotions affect your thoughts and behaviors, as well as how they influence others. So you say to enhance self awareness, practice mindfulness and reflection to observe your emotional reactions. Keep a journal to track your emotions and identify patterns. Seek feedback from others to gain a better understanding of how you are perceived. Now, Jody, I'm a sticker plug here because I want to ask you, dealing with men, when you say, how can a man become emotional intelligent in maintaining recognizing, you know, the emotions, their weaknesses, the values, and the motives? But when you say like keep a journal to track your emotions, most men, we don't do that. So what would be
Yeah.
I don't have a diary.
Yeah.
So how can a man, because we're gonna talk about the women too, but how can a man literally help himself to be more self-aware?
Yeah. Well, and I don't think there's one shoe that fits everybody, right? Like so journaling might be for some folks. They're like, hey man, I had an argument with my significant other. How did I feel during that? You know, might be some folks that write it down. Some folks might put it in notes in their phone. They might be doing whatever tools they have. Others might do something like breath work. They might just meditate. They might just calm whatever's going on inside. Others might look at how can I reframe that situation? What happened? Right. And then so you could go into like an analyzing piece. So the self-awareness, I think, comes the more you look at something that might not have gone well emotionally, right? Like, or news you got. How did you handle it? Did you respond right away and blow up at somebody when you're like, it's really not that big of a deal, right? You know, I think it happens. For those that do have kids, I think sometimes, you know, when they're little and they're spilling stuff, and they're like, oh my God, what do you like? You know, that's, are we filling their cup or we traumatizing them, right? Like how we do it in the grand scheme of things, we just wipe it up, right? But in the moment, you're like, oh. And I think that happens to all of us all the time, even, you know, in our 50s, 60s, 70s, right? We react. And so I think the self-awareness piece might come in different phases and in different situations. One, if you have the capability to put note in your phone, how did I feel about that, or journal? Great. A lot of men probably aren't doing that. But could they sit in the car and do some breath work and just calm down and really look at what happened? How did that work? What didn't work? Why didn't it work? You know, I think how you respond is really what you're focusing on, right? How did you take that information? It's not the other person. You can't control them or what they're going to do or the information they're getting. It's how you respond to it. And that's what we can all work on.
Absolutely right. Absolutely. Because once we work on that, we become education. We become wiser. We become knowledgeable, much more knowledgeable. So here, let's dig into the the educational perspective.
Yeah.
When we are doing that, you know, in what ways? Because I know in the book, and I'm not going to read it anymore because the people need to get the book. Okay. So here, when we talk about the educational perspective, what ways does having a growth mindset, and feel free to share with our audience the difference between a fixed mindset and a growth mindset, but what ways does having a growth mindset influence our ability to learn or unlearn and relearn, throughout life?
Yeah. Look, I've said it 1,000 times probably already tonight, but it's like growth mindset is really everything, right? It keeps you open to feedback. It keeps you hungry to improve, humble enough to pivot, right? I mean, I've reinvented myself multiple times, whether it was in law enforcement, my government work, being an entrepreneur, writing a book, getting ready to launch a podcast. We're in the pre-launch phase now, which is based off the book. And so each chapter has required me to shed the old identities and adopt the new ones. And that only happens when you believe you can learn something new at any age or stage. The minute you stop growing, if you're the same person you were 5 years ago, you've stopped growing. You're done. Your future self, 5 years from now, that person's hoping that you're continually learning and growing as a person and as a human. And we all could do something to better ourselves in that. It doesn't have to be grand. It doesn't have to be this massive breakthrough. It's just the little things that are going to make you, to be the best version of yourself. And so that's how I look at it.
Absolutely. Absolutely, sir. Man. Well, now when we talk about these things, man, I really think of it also from another lens. Once we are educating and we're educating ourselves, we become self-aware. We get this growth mindset so that we can be able to say, no matter how old I am going to be a lifelong learner. Yeah. But when we move into, and I'm going to speak about this, like the legislation of our lives, right? The legislation of our lives, where we, our thoughts and our words, they are laws that we create into our world that serves us, right? That serves us. Whether it's if you speak well of yourself, then you're going to be served well. If you speak ill of yourself, then you're going to, be served ill. So from a political perspective, we are decreeing, we are communicating, we're thinking, and these are laws. These are life laws. So my question from the political perspective is, how can crafting an informed and conscious mindset help us reclaim power in political and civic spaces, especially for marginalized communities?
Yeah. I mean, I think awareness is power. And I think when we're intentional about what we consume, and we kind of mentioned it earlier, right? Who do we listen to? How do we act? We become conscious participants, right? We're not passive bystanders. We're actively trying to gather that information, right? I think when you do that, it empowers us to ask better questions. Show up to vote, hold systems accountable, right? I mean, I think that starts with that education and then the community and then a belief that our voice matters. I really do. And I think it's again, what we consume and how we're consuming it, right? Are we feeding ourselves the good information? Are we being unbiased? Are we seeing unbiased information that's truly given us facts that we could then make decisions that are good for the community and our folks and everything else? And I think it's just that awareness is power, I think. And when you don't, and you think, oh, my vote doesn't count, or I'm just going to be on the sidelines watching what happens, it doesn't affect me. That's the wrong place to be, man. We all have an opportunity to do something to better our family, our community, our work, on a bigger scale. I think there's just lots of opportunity. And if we just sit back and say, I'm not going to do anything, or I don't want to learn about it, why is this happening? Oh, this doesn't affect me, right? We really limit ourselves in not being a voice that could help. And that's frustrating.
It is frustrating because when we lack information, we become destructive. We become really paralyzed because without information and then the application of the information, it really causes to have stagnation. Now,
Yeah.
I'm just spitting bars here, but the thing is that no matter what, the one thing that we do have power of is proper thinking. We do have that proper
Yeah.
thinking accountability. And if we will learn to say, I do need help, no matter if you're in a marginalized community or not, a high, well-to-do area, all of
Yeah.
us are in need of making sure that we gain knowledge, because
Yeah.
knowledge is power. And one thing that's what the huddle is all about. The huddle is a
Yeah.
space of truth, of love and fun, so that people can enhance their lives no matter what stage of life they are in. And so when we follow suit with that, it causes a great opportunity to occur. um
Yeah.
and for those people who are going to be watching this, I just want to say that you and I all have the ability to move forward. And that
Yeah.
looks different for everyone.
Mhm.
If moving forward means I'm going to save $1, then save $1. Whatever that personal goal is, you do the thing. And because your goal may be different than mine, but at the end of the day, we are accountable of building our minds in a way that is prosperous, in a way that is healthy. And if you don't know how to build, you have people around you.
Yep.
You have people that you may have to go outside of your community to receive that help. And
Right.
not every help has a payment. Sometimes if you sit in your living room and go to a PBS channel, you know, PBS is amazing. I love PBS,
Oh, yeah.
NPR. I just love that. Getting that information and really challenging myself to even be a better version of me. So here's the last topic for this evening, Jody. We talked about this already here concerning personal accountability. So, if we could elaborate a little more about that, we're going to go into this. What does it, when we talk about personal accountability, my question to you is, what does it truly mean to take authority over the mind? And if you have any disciplines or practices that help us to really take authority over the mind, please share that with us.
Yeah. This is really kind of summarizing everything, right? Taking
Yep.
authority over our minds is choosing to be the gatekeeper of our thoughts, right? So when you set those standards for what you allow in and what you give energy to, right, is going to help take that authority and make it your own. And it's based on those disciplines, right? So I think daily routines, right? Be intentional with the inputs, whatever that is, whether it's working out, whether it's reading, whether it's reflection, removing distractions from you that don't serve your goals. I think that's the key. And that right mindset doesn't just happen. I think it's crafted, it's guarded, and it's cultivated every day.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Did y'all hear? I'm telling you, this man is powerful. Gosh.
I don't know about all that.
Man, listen. I'm over here on fire right now because that's what authority means. You knowing that we are the ones that must protect our mind. We have to be careful what we hear. We have to be careful what we receive on the inside. We have to be very mindful of who we are spending time with, because when we are spending, sometimes you do not get a refund and sometimes you do not get a return.
That's right.
So if you and
Facts.
right now, if we're in we're almost, in an economical recession, and so then you think about, okay, what does that mean mentally? What does that mean? There are going to be some things that we're going to have to pivot. We're going to have to stop going to, certain restaurants and save
Sure.
that money to enhance our lives to the next step. One thing that, here in our audience, Felicia says, we have to be, I like that. Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
We have to be
I
the
mean,
gatekeepers.
it's true. It's tough, right? Because the world is flooded, right? I mean, and it's so key. We've got to take that. That's ours. That's ours. This is our space. This is all our space, right? Protect it.
Protect it. Well, look, Kenny says,
Kenny, you killing me, man. That's hysterical.
Johnny for president.
I just love. I tell you, look, I think what's great, and you said it when you were talking about the huddle, it's just building that community of like-minded people that support each other. Man, we're all in this together. This world's crazy. There's a lot of stuff going on, but you know what? Don't be afraid to ask for support or help. Don't be afraid to reach out to somebody who might need it, man. Like, I think being around that type of community and trying to surround yourself with the people that do give the energy and don't suck it from you and really, give you the negative. Again, that gatekeeper of that mind, man, we gotta build it. And and we have that power. That's that authority, right?
That's it, man. That's the authority. That's the power. Listen, y'all, I know right now, Jody, again, he has this book, The Progress Zone by Jody Donaldson. Please, y'all go to Barnes & Noble's, Amazon. It is there. Select it, get it. I know that if you truly enjoyed him being live, why not keep him around you the whole time you are alive? Okay, because this is a good opportunity where Jody is giving us exactly his life experience and what it means to live a life that's full of, greatness. Well, Jody, listen, we got to tell the people this. Jody is coming back. Yes, I know y'all excited.
Uh-oh. Are you sure they can handle two sessions with me? Come on.
Woo, man, listen, I the Huddle fans, man, they're ready. They're ready.
All right.
Listen, he is coming again on Friday, August the 22nd, 2025 at 8:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Facebook and YouTube. You do know, y'all, that we are going to be here every other Friday. So before we go, there is, oh, wow. Yes, that's so nice. Felicia says, thank you for your transparency, Jody.
Thank you, Felicia. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Absolutely right. Y'all, so listen, come back. We'll see y'all on the next go round. And remember to live life in the fullness. Build your mind the correct way so that you will be wealthy in every way. Until next time. Yes, sir. See you later.